EXP. It's in the game.
So, grind is a concept that I think often gets a bad rap in video games. I mean, obviously, don't get me wrong, I know why people don't really like it. I've done my time in those trenches. I've duplicated materia, I've hunted for shinies, I've watched entire box sets while I wait for some tedious 1%er to finally drop. But grind isn't always a soul-crushing experience. In fact, I think it can be kinda nice sometimes. It's like a comfy chair. You can just lean back and luxuriate in the sensation of knowing exactly what is expected of you and just repeatedly doing the one pleasurable activity over and over again, safe in the knowledge that it's slowly but surely getting you to your destination. And this is the kind of grind that Airheart, this game, specialises in. And I've got to say, considering quite how early this early access game is, I've been really surprised how much I've enjoyed just dropping into it and playing and climbing the steady, undemanding escalator that it offers. So what's this game about? Well, in a nutshell, Airheart is a pretty simple roguelike. You fly your plane up into these lovely sun-drenched skies above your base. You chase after sky fish, I guess, but mostly what you do is you shoot down pirates that are trying to attack you, and that's basically it. At some point you're going to decide, oh well, I've got enough loot now, and you're going to decide to go back home before you lose it all. You're going to get back, you're going to cash all that loot in, you're going to head to the workshop, see if you've got enough money to buy yourself something cool and new, and if you have, you're going to buy a new toy and zoom off to try it out. And if you haven't, you're going to zoom off to go and earn enough money that next time you can buy yourself something cool. And so it really is a classic grind. And you've seen this sort of thing loads of times before, but somehow in Airheart it's a really pleasant experience. Where most roguelikes are about how far down you can go, here it's about how far up you can go, how high you can ascend. And the enemies get tougher and tougher as you go up through these levels, but crucially, the game never really forces this progress on you, so you just tend to find a level that feels comfortable and then just settle there and grind away contentedly. And when I say that out loud, I realise it probably sounds kind of boring. It's a bit tame, right? But honestly, I just found it to be nice. This is a nice game, and it seems far more interested in being entertaining than crushing you under the weight of some relentless difficulty curve. I mean, I suppose technically there's this fish population system, and as you farm the fish in each area, they do sort of decline in numbers, so eventually you are forced up into the higher areas and forced to take on tougher opponents, but the pace that happens at right now, it's like sedate would be the word, and so by the time you do have to venture up into the harder areas, you should be well equipped to deal with them. The combat is nice too, in a sort of low energy kind of way. It could use some sharper AI in a few places. It's never going to deliver proper knife edge thrills, but what's here is perfectly serviceable, and I have to say it gets a lot better once you start to upgrade your weapon. I do have some minor quibbles, like the way the secondary weapons affect your momentum, which right now feels more like a bug than a real designed feature, and I'm not sure if I was the designer I'd start the player with quite such a pea shooter as their first weapon. It really doesn't showcase the combat to its best when you first start out. But in all honesty, these are real nitpicks. It's rare as hell for me to enjoy an early access game this much, and even while I was writing this script, I ended up firing it up for a cheeky go, a little trundle around the skies. So in all honesty, how can I complain? I really feel the devs know what they're doing on this. The game's already got a very clear personality and a feel that's completely unique and all of its own. So in the end of the day, I have to trust them. They're going to make good decisions from here on out, and I reckon the finished game is going to end up being pretty damn good. Now, we don't normally put ratings at the end of early access reviews, as it seems unfair to score what is essentially a preview, but at the same time it's probably worth saying that if this was on my list as a finished title, I'd give it 3 stars already. It's just a really nice game, and when your review backlog is mostly dodgy point and click games and hardcore retro shooters with pixel art graphics. Man, sometimes nice is enough. Nice can actually be pretty damn good. I'm genuinely sad to be leaving these skies behind me and plummeting back into the swamp of keymailer games. I mean, maybe there's time for just one more sortie into the skies before I go back. Yeah, can't hurt, can it?
BXB. It's in the game.